You see the glance before anyone else does. It is quick, too quick. A smile across the fire, a hand resting too long on someone else's arm, a quiet laugh that makes your stomach tighten before your brain can name the feeling. Your body changes first. Your chest heats, your jaw locks, and in a tribe small enough for everyone to know where everyone sleeps, jealousy is not just private pain. It is a spark beside dry grass. Today, jealousy can ruin a relationship or a message thread. But in a prehistoric camp where 25 or 40 people share food, children, danger, and memory, one jealous moment could threaten the balance that keeps everyone alive. So how dangerous was jealousy in prehistoric tribes? More dangerous than it looks, because love was never just love. A partner was warmth at night. A partner was help carrying a child. To lose that person was not only heartbreak, it was risk. Psychologist David Buss studied jealousy across cultures and described it as an alarm system for threatened relationships. In plain English, jealousy tells you that someone you depend on may be pulling away. The alarm can protect you. The alarm can also be wrong. That is where the danger begins. Imagine your camp at dusk. The sky is orange. The fire is low. Children sleep close together while adults repair tools and talk quietly about tomorrow's hunt. You sit near someone you trust. Maybe you have a child together. There is no wedding certificate, no courthouse, no modern law. But the bond is real. The group sees it. The group remembers it. Then someone else sits too close. Nothing happens. Not yet. But your stomach tightens. Why? Because in a small foraging group, relationships are not private. There are no locked doors, no separate apartments, no anonymous streets. Everything is visible, and everything matters. A conflict between two adults can become a conflict between relatives, friends, food-sharing partners, and children. In a band of 30 people, you cannot simply avoid your rival. You may wake near them. You may need them tomorrow when a storm breaks or a predator comes close. That is what makes prehistoric jealousy so explosive. It is intimate, but it is also political. Anthropologist Richard Lee, who studied the Jew/Hawansi of the Kalahari, showed how important sharing can be in small-scale foraging life. The Jew/Hawansi are not living fossils. No living people are a perfect copy of the Stone Age. But studies like Lee's help you imagine a world where food, labor, and trust move constantly between people. If one person creates repeated conflict, the problem is not just rude behavior. It threatens the group. For a mother in deep prehistory, a partner who helped provide food, protection, or social support could make a real difference. That does not mean your ancestors were cold calculators. It means emotion and survival were braided together. Love could be tender. Desire could be wild. Jealousy could feel like truth, even when it was only fear. Martin Daly and Margot Wilson showed that sexual jealousy can become one motive behind lethal conflict. In the deep past, that violence carried a special cost. There were no police, no hospitals, no antibiotics. A deep cut could mean infection. So the tribe had reasons to stop jealousy before it became blood. This is the counterintuitive part. Prehistoric groups probably did not survive because everyone was peaceful. They survived because everyone was watching. A jealous person could not simply explode without consequences. Others would notice the mood. An elder might step in. Friends might separate two rivals. Anthropologist Christopher Boehm wrote about egalitarian hunter-gatherers. Egalitarian means no single adult is allowed to dominate everyone else for long. Boehm argued that many small-scale groups use gossip, ridicule, withdrawal, and sometimes expulsion to control dangerous people. In plain English, the tribe had social breaks. Reputation was another break. If you were always suspicious, people remembered. If you attacked without proof, people remembered. If you tried to control someone too tightly, people remembered. In a small camp, reputation followed you like a shadow. It decided who shared with you, who listened to you, who trusted you near children. So jealousy had to pass through the eyes of the group before it became action. That public pressure could feel harsh, but it also kept one person's fear from becoming everyone's disaster. Jealousy pressed the accelerator, the group pressed the brake. Why would the group care so much? If two men fought over one woman, the next hunt might lose a strong tracker. If a jealous partner attacked a rival, the rival's relatives might demand revenge. If revenge began, the camp could fracture. And if the camp fractured in the wrong season, everyone could pay. Sarah Blaffer Hrdy argued that human children evolved in a world of cooperative breeding. That means children often survive through care from more than one person. This changes the meaning of jealousy. A romantic conflict was not only about desire, it was about who would care for the next child. A jealous rupture could pull support away from the most vulnerable person in the camp, the baby. Prehistoric babies needed warmth, carrying, protection, and constant attention. A child with reliable helpers had better chances than a child surrounded by conflict. So the tribe needed bonds, but not bonds that burned the camp down. So the safest partner was not always the loudest or the strongest. It may have been the person who could stay steady when emotion rose, the person who could feel the alarm but not become the alarm. In a dangerous world, that kind of control was not weakness. It was survival. This is why the most attractive person in prehistory may not have been the strongest. It may have been the person who could desire without destroying, the person who could feel anger and still listen, the person who could feel jealousy and still remain useful to the group. Would that have been easy? No. Your brain did not evolve to be calm all the time. It evolved to react. Jealousy was not useless. It was risky. Like fire. Controlled fire cooks food, warms bodies, keeps predators away, and draws people together. Uncontrolled fire eats the camp. Jealousy worked the same way. A small flame could say, "Pay attention." A wildfire could say, "Destroy everything." In the deep past, jealousy was not a minor mood. It was a group-level danger. The most dangerous part was not always the first feeling. It was the chain reaction. Suspicion became accusation. Accusation became rage. Rage became violence. Violence became revenge. Revenge became a split. And a split could mean hunger. This is why emotional control may have been a survival skill. Not the cold control of someone who feels nothing. The warm control of someone who feels everything and still does not let the feeling rule the camp. You had to read faces. You had to notice tone. You had to know when a joke was safe and when it was dangerous. Your ancestors were not just hunting animals. They were reading danger in each other's eyes. Now look at your own life. The setting has changed. The fire is a phone screen. The glance is a notification. The rival is a name that appears too often. The camp is a friend group, a family chat, a workplace, or a relationship that feels suddenly unstable. Your body still reacts before your mind catches up. Your chest heats. Your jaw locks. Your brain writes a story from tiny clues. Sometimes the story is right. Sometimes it is ancient fear wearing modern clothes. That is the mirror. Jealousy feels personal, but it was shaped in a world where personal conflict could become collective danger. Your ancestors could not afford endless emotional explosions. Neither can you. The old rule remains. The feeling is not the enemy. The wildfire is. You see the glance before anyone else does. And now, for the first time, you understand why your body cares so much.